early kills that they got onto the early stages of the game. It's just those. Just the problem is that they weren't able to shut down Marco Polo and stop him from getting the itemization that they need. But that's a learning experience for Team Scarz. They definitely can still make a comeback later on should they want to in our game 2 or 3.
Definitely. But I would also like to comment coming from the side of Team Lady Frost there. Without her, there's actually a complete difference when it comes to team fight initiation. Just like you said a while ago, the crowd control capability and of course the damage output or magic damage output coming from Princess Frost can really much do a dent when it comes to the initiation coming from the side of MSG. Right now, seeing from the highlights right now, we can definitely see that Team MSG was taking their time, and there we go. Just like we said, the Lady Frost can really much be a game changer coming from the side of Team Scars. But then again, when it comes to the mid to late game potential, when Lady Frost was actually missing, there was like a little bit of a skirmish coming from the side of Team Scars, making Team MSG a really powerful feat to deal with. But again, if we're going to look deeper, we can see that Charlotte and of course uh, I forgot here with going back is Charlotte was able to generate that damage output. Then again, that's still early on in the game, but when it comes to the late game potential, just like what you said, Kaisaya, is their Team MSG's heroes can really much be activated. So I think that's one of their specialties, like taking its moves coming from the mid to early to mid game, then really much taking off to the late game.
Yeah, late game is their timing in there. You know what? Sometimes in real life, like you just say, I'm gonna wait for the right time, right? So don't
Hmm.
rush things and just wait for the right time, and that is what MSG did. So congratulations, MSG, for winning that game one. We can see in the replay, right? This is the part where they're already making that comeback as they even out the gold lead up against Scarz. They just basically got the position in the map to take the Overlord as well as the Tyrant, and yeah, I mean, pretty much in here at this stage of the game as well, Scarz is kind of pretty scattered in the map. It's like they lost the coordination that they had in the early to the mid part of the game, so that's quite unfortunate for them. And just take note though, like for game 2 and game 3, now that they have picked a lot of CC heroes in here, they're gonna be lacking options later on for game 2.
Oh, good thing that you mentioned that, Kaisaya. Again, since this is a global ban system, so it's going to be a tricky part for me from the Steam Scars to really much initiate a team fight again. And just like I said a while ago, that the crowd control heroes, a majority of them was able to utilize here in game number one. So really good point there, Kaisaya.
Yes, now, then again, they are the team. I'm pretty sure that they have thought about that, but that's just an observation coming from us. But yeah, in here, at least knowing the top picks and the of each of the teams yet, no, they still have the Arlie and June open for Scar, so that's their power picks. If they are able to do some mind games during the drafting phase up against MSG, maybe they can get their hands in that because they're really good in Arlie. They picked the Arlie hero quite a lot in the game, and let's see if they will have the chance onto our game too. But yeah, so far so good. I think both of the teams did a great job in the early and to the mid game part of the stage, and I'm so excited to see more.
Yes, definitely. Same as you, Kaisaya, and I'm very much excited to see on how can Team Scars really much recoup coming from that defeat of game number one. But going back to the one of the last parts of the highlights, I really like that Marco Polo and Charlotte really much depth dive coming from that Importer Turret and of course that high ground, making them nearly impossible coming from Team Scars to really much engage to possible re-engagement for their cyber team. So we can see that coming from the last skip that Marco Polo was able to secure a triple kill, and of course Charlotte was able to
Yeah.
secure a double kill. So that coordination itself can really much speak in terms of how disciplined and of course how the shot calling of these teams are really much going with.
And remembering that that was a time when Princess Frost was quite unfortunately not there. So that's
Mhm.
why there's no one to CC Marco Polo when he actually got in. But yeah, that already happened. Let's just move on as we head on to our drafting phase soon. but I'm not seeing it right now. We're gonna be there pretty soon. So yeah.
Well,
All right, here we go. The transition.
there we go. There we go.
Yeah, it's just because of the heat in the Philippines. So, you know what? I feel like you're transferring the heat. I'm gonna go get my mini fan. I'm in Germany right now, but I don't know because of the match. It's really getting hot, right? Really, it's on. I'm not even kidding. You can see my hair. It's
Yeah,
moving.
I hope that that air comes through with our skins right now. But speaking of hotness, okay, we're now seeing still a Dahlia pick coming from the side of Team MSG as well. Top priority balance coming from their side of team. So again, those Dahlia Lamb combination can really much be a threat whenever a team really much uses them. But right now, we can see a Lady Frost, of course, coming from the side of Team Scarz right near, respecting their band when it comes to giving an opportunity coming from Team MSG to utilize Team Lady Frost.
Yeah, that's so true. I like how you combine Lady Zen and Lady Frost, Princess Frost.
Princess Frost!
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, you must be craving for some coldness there in the
Yes,
Philippines.
yes,
I
definitely.
can feel you. I can feel you. But anyway, I'm pretty sure Scars right now is happy that they have secured their own. I mean, their favorite pick, Arlie. But you know, Lady Sun is also a good matchup against an Arlie. Both of them are quite mobile. Actually, not quite mobile. They are very mobile. So I think a CC lock must be needed in here by other teams to lock in their very mobile farm laners. Zhangfei is now secured in here. Yara is also good to give some protection, but who is gonna go in into? Is it gonna be like the Arlie joining the team fights or the Mayin? We'll have to find out. But yeah, so far so good in terms of the picks that they have in here.
Definitely right now. One thing that I can say coming from the side of Team Scars right now, they have majority of them is currently of squishy heroes, no. And coming from the game number one, most of the tanky heroes was already been chosen. So that's one of the downsides since you need to take into consideration on how much damage output that you can put inside of your team and how much sustain that you can really much give when it comes to initiating team fights. So that's one of the crucial factors for them to really much engage when their enemies here, specifically here coming from the side of Team MSG. But we are seeing here from the side of Team MSG a very very solid lineup. Again, we can definitely say that it's a hero lineup where in the early game potential is still a little bit slow moving, but when it comes to the mid and late game, can really much those power kickoff can spike as well.
I kept on hearing the word engage a while ago, and it's
Mhm.
looking a lot of engage indeed with both of the teams, with Mozzie, Mayin, and Ata even onto the side of Scars. Those are really good sources of engage potentials. Meanwhile, for the side of MSG in here, well, they got the Zhangfei. Byron can make some good setups as well.
Mhm.
So those are really good options. Now, it will just have to basically followed up by the damage, of course, coming from their carries in the form of either the Lady Sun, of course, or the Arlie. But damage output wise, the Xiao Kiao being locked in here by MSG, that is looking wild as well. So I'm so excited how this will turn out. But yeah, so far, strongest team from Japan, Cars, and strongest team under Malaysia matching up here in Kings of Underground as one. You don't really want to miss this.
Definitely, it's going to be an intense battle since this is going to be a match point coming from the side of Team MSG. So really, Team Scars can really much need to follow up when it comes to the initiations and of course securing those objectives. Early on in the game, coming from game number one, they were able to really much secure those tyrants and of course inhibitor turrets. But then again, once that power spike kicks in, coming from the side of Team MSG, there's really much nothing that you can do. So right now, when it
Right.
comes to engagement, just like you said, this will be a really really jam-packed match of game number two since right now it's and primary focus coming from the side of Team Scars as well.
Yeah, that is so true. And now we see the overview, zoomed out layout Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, at least we can see the HP bars. Look at the middle lane. Look at the minions in the middle lane. So, but so far in here, we can see the Yarya being absent in the middle lane. Normally, we would see the support roaming around the mid as well to help out the mid laner, clear off the minions fast so they can roam around together and set up ganks. That
Mhm.
is normally see, in usual laning stages, but at the same time you also would want to know where your jungle opponent started so that potentially your jungler in the team can actually properly set up ganks as well. But so far both are actually request respecting, but Zhangfei in here did have an advantage of getting the vision as to where Ata have actually started on his jungle.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually shocked that Zhang Fei here was actually invading the enemy jungle early on in the game, like in the first few seconds of the game. But again, pointing out in terms of visibility, and there we go. That will be a first blood coming from the bottom side of
Oh,
the map. That will be a 1-for-1 trade-off. But here we can see that the
yeah.
ultimate has already been blocked in, coming from the side of Team MSG, but backing away, coming from the side of Team Scarz. Will they be able to secure a kill? No. M Feng was able to back away just in the cut of time before sustaining any more damage coming from that ultimate. But right now, a 1-4-2 kill score is now in favor from the side of Team MSG.
That is so true, and they're going actually for more rotations. This is going to be pretty dangerous for the Arlie. Looks like they're eyeing in here to shut down the Arlie as much as they can because she can
Mhm.
definitely be really scary on to the late game stage. I like that, scary and
Whoop.
Arlie. But yeah, anyway, just folks in the, here and there for now and waiting for opportunities to get in.
Well, speaking of opportunities, right now Arlie is public enemy number one. So basically, they really much
Mm-hmm.
need to take their time to when it comes to checking those minimaps. But ooh, what a great damage coming from the side of Team MSG here, coming from the bottom lane, almost taking down all of the HP here. Coming from the side of M Feng, so a little bit of taking care of again from their side of the team.
Yeah, well, definitely in here, our farm laner Jaja, his actually her name or his name is actually Jaja in here, the farm lane of MSG. He has more advantage in terms of the range up against the Arlie, so definitely on the one v
Ooh.
one. But hold the
1v1
phone because
situation
the
here with the
clash.
blue side, but there you go. That will be a secured blue buff again from the side of
Yeah.
Team MSG, and of course, taking one for the team against Team Scarz right now. So, taking into the lead, we can see here a 2k gold lead from the side of MSG. What an complete engagement coming from the side of Team MSG right there. It was almost impossible for Team Scarz to exit that skirmish from their side.
That is so true. And now we can see Jaja, the lady son in the side of MSG, is already rotating together with the team. That would mean he is now very confident on his itemization in here. Onto rotating, but also the top side, I think we also have a tussle ongoing there, forcing Mayin to just back away. And looks like this is going to be the first
Ooh.
potential tower. But hold the phone.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This will be another team fight in
Oh,
favor
look at
from the
that.
side of Team Scarz, taking down one member coming from the side of Team MSG. Will they be able to take one more for the team? Oh, that will be another ultimate coming from the side of Autumn. But here, ASD poking in, flashing in, wanting to secure the crowd control. And there we go, two more members down for the count for the side of Team MSG. 4-3 scoreline in favor of Team Scarz.
Look at how Scarz have actually gotten that lead in terms of the kill. That is actually giving Autumn the Arlie on the side of Scarz the lead, or the power spike that she needs as a carry onto the side of Scarz. So this is gonna look scary for the side of MSG, and they cannot just be overconfident about the win that they got from game one, because that will not transition here. This is gonna be a totally different game, just with totally different lineup of the
Oh,
hero lineup rather.
Guyu hiding in the bush. Will this be able to secure a kill against Team Scarz right there? Almost there, but again, 75% of HP still remains coming from the side of River C. So he was able to pretty much exit that skirmish. But going back in here, we can see that Team Scarz are really much taking into the momentum that they have right now. But hold that thought. That will be a 2 for 2, 2
Oh,
versus
look
2
at that.
trade.
The
Here, coming from the side of the
chase!
bottom lane, will this be a secured kill? Oh, the sustain is real coming from the side of Team MSG, but then again, the ultimate has already been initiated. That will be a double kill for Autumn. And now some of the team members coming from the side of Team MSG will now be coming up into the follow-up damage. Oh, okay, now Team ASD will now be flashing away as well to escape that skirmish. So again, Team Scarz trying to capitalize on the momentum that they have right now. But oh, the battle continues here coming from the farm side of Team MSG. So right now, we can see here a 3v3 situation. Team Mfeng hiding into the bush, wanting to provide visibility for his teammates. But right now, oh no, it's not looking good for Team Rivalry. And that will be a one down from their side of the team as Team MSG will be securing that kill. Okay, now this will be a disengagement for both sides of the team.
Well, Autumn as well as Ochik to overstayed on the bottom lane part of the map. That wasn't necessary. I think they should have just backed away when they knew that the members of MSG was actually already walking towards the bot. But mid-side, we see this 1v2 situation, but it's just going to be Mayin trying to shove away the members of MSG. So yeah, going back to what happened on the bottom lane part of the map, I think Autumn as well as Ochik should have not overstayed there. I mean, they were trying to push up until the mid lane tower, but that wasn't necessary. Sometimes we have this rule, okay, if you have been spending more than 5 seconds or more than 5 seconds in a particular lane and nothing is happening, you better back away because, you know, that potentially the opponents are already coming towards you or you're just basically wasting your time instead of going for a different objective. So they have missed the part, quite unfortunately. Fortunately, Autumn did survive. Ochik, however, died onto the process.
Definitely, and I like what ASD is doing here, checking the bush side of their enemy side of the team with his second skill. So bringing on that visibility as well, and of course checking for possible team ganks coming from the side of Team MSG. But hold that thought. Here we can see an engagement coming from the both sides of the team. Will there be an ultimate engage coming from the side of MSG? Yes, that will be an ultimate coming from their side, and there will be also taking down one member coming from Team Scarz. So right now, when it comes to the Overlord take, Team MSG will be taking this one for the team.
Yeah, that is so true. While Mayin is actually going for the clearing of the minion waves in the top side, we can see MSG getting that really nice vision onto the middle lane as they take down that tower. And this is going to give them an upper advantage in terms of the map control. So despite having a lead in terms of kills in favor of Scarz, we can see the lead in terms of gold is up high on MSG side. That is of the towers that they have taken and more objectives that they have taken as well. So yes, again, the zoom out overview that we have, we can see almost everything.
Well, that's one good thing that we're having here in the caster set. But before hold that thought again, here this will be a 1v1 situation. All over one of the members coming from Team Scarz, and there will be securing that kill. So making them a 7-5 scoreline. But again, kill score doesn't matter in this game as we are now able to secure an inhibitor turret coming from the top side. Now Team MSG having an upper advantage. But then again, a trade-off coming to get that Tyrant will be secured by Scarz.
For MSG, it's going to be a tower that will pay off more for them, to be honest. We've seen this in Game 1, wherein Scarz on the lead. Pretty much happening again on to Game 2, wherein there's a lack of focus on the tower by Team Scarz. But meantime, will there be a potential clash?
Yes,
They're
potential
questioning
clash
in here.
here indeed.
Oh,
That will be a 3v1
no,
situation.
that was unfortunate.
No, Rivalry.
They lack one member now.
Oh no.
And here we go again.
Again and again here with Scarz starting to engage. Team MSG here with a back away. They know their capabilities. One of the members right now is really much low, so they cannot risk losing one of the members right now. That could provide the sustainability coming from their side of the team. Oh, that will be a flash coming from the side of Team Scarz, but that will be a downfall coming from one of their members. Now that will be another shutdown coming from the side of Team MSG, and now we see Team Scarz trying to make penetration coming from the side of team and securing a double kill. And now
Really?
that was
Oh,
a
no.
disaster coming from the side of Team MSG.
Yes. it will definitely end up in a disaster like that because Scarz do know that they lack one member, but they have engaged into the fight. That was quite unfortunate. So it was a mistake on the side of Ata actually going for a cap. Maybe there was a miscommunication. That's why it so happened. And we did see that the moment that Ata died, we did see that Arlie as well as Yarya going for the potential fight still. And that is where MSG found the opportunity. Okay, you lack one member still wanting to fight. And I think that's not a good part. But yeah, hold the thought because we have
Yes,
another fight
and here we
ongoing.
go, team fight initiated. But as they try to get that tyrant again, one of the members coming from the team MSG trying to provide vision, but again, one of the members will be falling down. So now team MSG will be trying to secure this tyrant, as team Scarz will be securing another objective, maybe an overlord or maybe a push here
Uh-huh.
coming from the side of mid side or the top side. But then again, team MSG will be securing that tyrant, so making them more susceptible and of course adaptable when it comes to the damage output that they have right now. So team Scars really much need to be careful into the next part.
That's so true. I like what the Arlie and the Arya did onto actually going for the push on the top side, but they need to go back as soon as it's possible and go to the route that is safest for them to actually go for the defense on the base. They don't want the super minions to go out anytime soon, but it looks like the high ground tower on the bot will
Oh,
fall down anyway. Now they are lacking a member here, and will this be it, Mischievous?
yes, I think there is still possibility coming from the side of Team Scars to really much defend, but then again,
Ah,
the
no,
minion waves was
not at
able
all.
to really much
Not at
sustain,
all.
but with a heavy heart, Team MSG will be winning that game number 2 with a 2-0 sweep.
Congratulations to MSG. They actually showed their power there. And they showed to us the importance of taking towers. Doesn't matter about the leads in the early stages of the game. Well, they did get some kill leads in the early stages of the game, but mid to late game, we saw how actually Team Scarz from Japan made a comeback with Arlie Autumn, his favorite hero in here, really going for a power spike. But that doesn't matter. Yes, you get kills, but your towers are getting taken down. If you will notice in here, many of the times it's not MSG actually going for the engage.
Hmm.
Yes, they got an engager in here, but there it's actually most of the time either you see Ata or Mozi or Magin looking for the fight. To give opportunity, of course, we understand the snowball that is very much needed by the Arlie. But then again, whenever we see those moments, it's just like, okay, few kills gonna go for them, but at the same time, there is the multitasking by the side of Team MSG going for tower takes, and that is far more important. You get a lot of gold on the tower takes. I think kudos to the strategy that MSG has showcased to all of us. This is what we learn, and early stages of the game, you don't really stay that much in the lane to go for the farms, but rather you look for either to cancel the farming of your opponent or to look for early kill opportunities. So yeah, well done, but don't worry because Scarz is still gonna go and play into the lower bracket.
Definitely, and of course, I would just like to give emphasis on what I like to what you said there, Kaysaya, is that when it comes to these kinds of games, it's not the matter or it's not the high skill that you're after, no. It's the number of objectives that you're trying to secure, and of course, the
Right.
number of initiations that really much do favor for your side of the team. Speaking of favors, right now we are seeing here coming from the instant replay. We
Mm-hmm.
definitely saw that despite the kills count that being secured here coming from the side of Team Scars, when it comes to the inverter turrets, we can definitely say that that's one of the targets coming from the side of Team MSG, making them really much on a vulnerable spores when it comes to securing this. And as we say that, we can see that they are really much trying to secure those inverter turrets coming from the top side and of course from the bottom side. But again, when it comes to the power spike, there is not yet enough power and of course damage output that Team MSG can do. So basically, what they are trying to do right now is of course securing and pushing back away Team Scars here from their own from their own jungle, making them more richer by the moment. So I think that's one of the key highlight strategies that Team MSG was able to focus on as well.
And now, actually, it is official. Maybe MSG can make a meme out of this once more. We gotta wait on. I'm now a fan of their Facebook page in here. Well, I am following everyone's Facebook page, but I think we should encourage more, like, the funny memes to lighten up the mood in this very serious tournament that we have right now. But yeah, we did see in the replay, right? Just before 4 minute game time, we already saw some gangs coming from the Gene, the visits, really liking that. In the mid game, we saw the Arlie going online. However, Scarz very much focused on the kills and they forgot about the towers. For sure, they know about the towers, but it was MSG relying more on the tower takes into the mid up to the late game stage of the game. And that's where actually Scarz went down completely, even though they got the Arlie online. Quite unfortunate because we did see the power and the capacity of what they can do in terms of their lineup. But then again, the main objective of the game is to get into the crystal of your opponent by taking down towers.
Yes, definitely. I think that's one of those key components that that Team Scars need to give emphasis on. Despite the power spike that they had coming from the coming from the early to mid game, but then again, really much securing those inhibitor turrets can really much change the game. And as we see here from the comment section, yes, and that was a complete reverse output coming from the side of Team MSG. Despite yes, they are slowing down a little bit slow coming from the early game, but then again, when the power spike hits, that can be really much be a game changer. Speaking of a game changer, this specific clip can really much give the true meaning coming from the side of communication, as well as we were able to see it that Team Scars was able to really much almost wipe out Team MSG. So that's also one of taking into consideration for Team MSG to do maybe a little bit of communication as well.
Yeah, that's so true. And actually, this part of the replay, we did see that Scarz actually attempted to go for the Shadow Tower. Very dangerous position, to be honest. They know that in the map, the members of Team MSG was actually just somewhere there in the mid, but they also haven't taken down any towers in the mid as well as in the top side. So they are lacking control over that one, and that was not a good timing to actually go for the Shadow Tyrant. And this is the moment I think wherein Ata was actually dead. And yeah, this is the moment wherein they have actually ended the game and just gotta wait for that miracle to happen, but wipe out in the end, trying to go for a defense in the game.
And of course, still a solid fight coming from the side of Team Scars, despite having a 0-2 scoreline coming from the side of the team. But then again, they are still battling it out into the lower bracket. So again, GG well played for Team MSG and Team Scars, as Team MSG will be proceeding to the next round into our upper bracket.
Yes, and while Scarz will proceed their journey into the lower bracket. So I like that. This is a new layout. So up next will be Team X from the Philippines versus Black True Esports, or BSE from Malaysia. That is another best of 3 series that is going to be super exciting because by history, these two teams have been battling it out. Team X from the Philippines have yet to make a comeback win against BSE because, every time they meet up, BSE is just like defeating them, and we'll just have to find out because Team X have promised that they're going to make a comeback for the Philippines. But yeah, we're going to be head on to a really short break. Up next will be Team X versus BSE. I'm Kaysai, with me is Mischievous. We'll be right back.
Defeated. Towers. Each lane has 3 towers. Base towers are near the team base's crystal. Inner towers are in the middle, and outer towers are at the river. When enemies are in range, the tower fires on them. Towers target one enemy at a time, dealing high damage once per second. The healing dew behind the outer tower can be consumed to restore some health and mana. Jungle. The jungle is a low visibility maze of overgrowth that hides buff-granting neutral monsters. Normal monsters include the Crimson Golem, the Tusked Boar, the Fire Beast, the Azure Golem, the Lizard, and the Spike-Tail Beast. Epic monsters, Tyrant, and Shadow Tyrants. Defeat these epic monsters to gain the Tyrant Arrival or Shadow Tyrant's Arrival buff for your team. Prophet Overlord and Shadow Overlord. Defeat these epic monsters to gain their corresponding minion wave bonus. Tempest Dragon. Defeat this epic monster to gain its Thunder Shield buff and a percentage true damage lightning buff. Defeating enemy heroes, clearing minion waves, and grabbing jungle resources will help you buy your hero better equipment, allowing you to take down towers more quickly. Victory is yours when you destroy the enemy team's crystal. Tips. Using the last hit tower kill button allows for easier targeting of enemies, resulting in fewer missed last hit opportunities. Adjusting your field of view in the settings allows you to see more of the battlefield. The Show Skill Cast Target's avatar setting can be accessed by selecting the hero's avatar. The feature helps you target your skills at the right enemy during team fights. It's a good idea to target the enemy with the lowest health. Honor of Kings terms you need to know. Every game has its unique terminology, and MOBAs are no exception. Let's review the terms used in Honor of Kings to help you communicate with your teammates in-game. Game stages. In each match, there are 3 stages: early game, mid-game, and late game. Heroes are classified as early game, mid-game, or late game heroes, depending on which stage of the game they're strongest. Early game heroes are those who become strong in the first 4 minutes. They start with higher base stats and are able to go to battle without the need for much equipment. In contrast, mid and late game heroes start with lower base stats, but their power grows significantly over the course of the match. These heroes are fairly weak in early game and instead grow in power over time as they acquire more equipment. Therefore, you can raise your odds by having a balanced team of early game, mid game, and late game heroes. Laning terms. Last hit. This refers to the final, finishing blows dealt by a hero to a minion. Last hitting a minion rewards you with bonus gold, compared to letting it die from other damage sources. Minion kills are fundamental to gaining a gold advantage and winning the game. Trading damage. This refers to using your hero's health in exchange for the enemy's health. The goal is to keep whittling away at the enemy to create an opportunity for the kill. Ganking. This refers to ambushing an enemy or joining an ally in combat. A successful gank can create a good deal of momentum, but a failed gank can lead to serious deficits for a team. You can raise the odds of success by having a balanced team of heroes. Always remember to safeguard yourself against a potential enemy gank. Team fight terms. Multi-lane attack. This is when a team attacks from more than one lane at once. Common multi-lane attack formations are 1-3-1, 4-1, and 3-2. A multi-lane attack means that the team can earn gold and EXP from more than one lane, but this also thins out the team's combat power at the same time. How and when to execute a multi-lane attack is a must-learn strategy in Honor of Kings. Kiting and poking. These refer to chipping away at the enemy's health using ranged skills. Poking usually happens before a team fight starts by ranged heroes. This is done to lower enemy health, increasing the chance of winning the team fight. All in. This is when a team focuses its skill attacks on a single target at once. This tactic is most often seen when fighting key enemy heroes as a way to ensure the kill. It's an especially effective tactic against well-developed enemy heroes. Honor of Kings is a MOBA game based on tower defense. On the ever-changing battlefield, players must have basic awareness and strategy to gain an advantage so that they can destroy the enemy's crystal and win the match. Here are some key points to consider. 1. Winning condition. The goal of the game is to destroy the enemy's towers and the crystal. Therefore, it's critical to strategize around the towers. Destroying towers brings gold and EXP, and drives the enemy back to make the jungle easier to invade. After destroying the inner towers, the minions become super minions that cannot be stopped by normal minions, giving the players an even bigger advantage. 2. Minion waves. They're in charge of pushing and defending and are a key element to the match. Minions are important when attacking towers, and enemy minions are the main source for gold and EXP. Players must keep an eye on clearing the incoming minion waves to ensure efficiency and make sure the defending minions are not overwhelmed. 3. Gold. The amount of gold earned has a direct impact on equipment purchases and the tide of the battle. Gold can be earned from clearing minion waves, killing heroes, assists, clearing the jungle, and destroying towers. After accumulating gold, players can aggressively attack the enemy jungle to take neutral creatures, destroy towers, and initiate team fights to expand their advantage and eventually win. 4. Teamwork. Good teamwork is a key factor to victory. Players must create advantageous situations and support teammates to increase survivability. During team fights, every class must maximize their effectiveness by performing their assigned duties. 5. Pacing. Good players know how to control the pace of a match, consciously strategizing during every part of the game. The first 4 minutes of leveling up, the team fights between minutes 10 and 20, and the last part after the 20-minute mark. And seizing opportunities are the key to taking the initiative. You now know everything about awareness and pacing. See you next time. Honor of Kings is a MOBA game based on tower defense. On the ever-changing battlefield, players must have basic awareness and strategy to gain an advantage so that they can destroy the enemy's crystal and win the match. Here are some key points to consider. 1. Winning condition. The goal of the game is to destroy the enemy's towers and the crystal. Therefore, it's critical to strategize around the towers. Destroying towers brings gold and EXP, and drives the enemy back to make the jungle easier to invade. After destroying the inner towers, the minions become super minions that cannot be stopped by normal minions, giving the players an even bigger advantage. 2. Minion waves. They're in charge of pushing and defending and are a key element to the match. Minions are important when attacking towers, and enemy minions are the main source for gold and EXP. Players must keep an eye on clearing the incoming minion waves to ensure efficiency and make sure the defending minions are not overwhelmed. 3. Gold. The amount of gold earned has a direct impact on equipment purchases and the tide of the battle. Gold can be earned from clearing minion waves, killing heroes, assists, clearing the jungle, and destroying towers. After accumulating gold, players can aggressively attack the enemy jungle to take neutral creatures, destroy towers, and initiate team fights to expand their advantage and eventually win. 4. Teamwork. Good teamwork is a key factor to victory. Players must create advantageous situations and support teammates to increase survivability. During team fights, every class must maximize their effectiveness by performing their assigned duties. 5. Pacing. Good players know how to control the pace of a match, consciously strategizing during every part of the game. The first 4 minutes of leveling up, the team fights between minutes 10 and 20, and the last part after the 20-minute mark. And seizing opportunities are the key to taking the initiative. You now know everything about awareness and pacing. See you next time. New to Honor of Kings? Worry not. Watch this tutorial to learn how to be victorious in Hero's Gorge. Let's review the fundamentals of gameplay. There are 6 types of heroes in Honor of Kings, each suitable for various roles in a match. Tanks. These beefy heroes generally have more health, allowing them to take more damage in combat.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. My name is Mischievous, and alongside me is Kaysaya. Welcome to the Kings of Underground Season 1. And this is the most awaited match because, again, we are now in the playoffs round. So, specifically, we're on the upper bracket today. And tomorrow, we'll be discussing or shoutcasting as well for the lower bracket. But then again, Madam Kaysaya, how are you feeling on our first match of the day?
Oh, the first match. Okay, MSGM Scarz. To be honest, I did not expect that's going to end on a 2-0 match. And it was pretty fast because, we wanted to see some 2-1s and some really heated matches until the final showdown. But final showdown will require some 20 minutes game time, and maybe Scarz or MSG from their home countries would want to go fall asleep already so that they can prepare in the next matches. But I think I'm now more confident to say that we might be able to see 2-1 here in Team X from the Philippines versus BSE from Malaysia. We'll just have to find out.
Well, just to give our viewers a little bit of an insight, so basically, Team Black Shoe Esports is a composed of a little bit of a mix and match, no? When it comes to Malaysian and Chinese teams. So when it comes to communication, maybe we can definitely say that there's a little bit of a contrast. But then again, we were able to see on how consistent that Black Shoe Esports came from as well with the other tournaments. I can't name the tournament, but they were very, very consistent.
Well, they speak Chinese, so in Malaysia as well, I believe maybe Malaysian Chinese, but maybe they will, get around with the communication. But at least in the Team Philippines, we do know that everyone can speak Tagalog, their local language. I'm just not too sure about like who's coaching them as of the moment. Maybe we'll find out more information that we can share you on the stream or during the cast and broadcast. But for the meantime, what we need to know is that Team X from the Philippines do actually want a revenge up against BSE because again, they've met each other many times already in different tournaments, and Team Philippines or Team X doesn't even get any win from actual tournaments. We don't know during the scrims that they had, but for sure, what matters most is what the audience see in the public, and we'll just have to find out. And I think maybe I think during the downtimes or during the group stages as well, they were able to discover about the different strategies during the group stages, and maybe they made adjustments or some preparation for that.
Definitely. And of course, taking consideration that this is one of those tournaments that is highly been anticipated by everyone, specifically here in the Honor of Kings community. So I think they are really much prepared when it comes to their draft, and of course their composition as well when it comes to the fighting here in Honor of Kings as well, since we were able to see in our statistics coming from the group stage that Team X coming from the Philippines is actually having a top pick when it comes to pay. And of course, one of their top bans as well is Arlie, Dharma, Princess Frost this time, not Lady Frost, Princess Frost is one of their top 3 bans as well coming from their side of team. But Kaysaya, what statistics can you provide for Team Black Shoe Esports?
For Black Shoe, I mean, it's pretty like all over, like, they got the Arlie, Lam, Mayin, and Dharma for their bans this time. They hate the Princess Frost, they hate the Lam, they don't want to deal with the Haino even, as well as the Arlie. But one thing, I'm gonna go back to the top bans of Team X from the Philippines in here. They got a lot of top bans, and what we can say on this 6 top bans that they actually have is that they don't base it off actually respecting, but they base it off on what they want to do on their draft. So canceling out or banning out the heroes that potentially could counter their heroes. So I think that is a good strategy from Team X. If your opponent can read what you want to do, then that's going to be a problem, because in order for you to strategize for against an opponent, you need some information, right? But Team X somehow didn't give some information, but we'll see about that, because BSE, they've played up against Team X many times already in the past. Maybe they do know, maybe they don't even need the information during the during the group stages to go up against Team X. But it will just then again boil down on to what we'll see later on.
I totally agree with you, and giving emphasis on what information that these two teams can get when it comes as once we enter the drafting phase can really much be crucial when it comes to selecting the best possible heroes to counter, or maybe countering, respecting the bans coming from the side of Team BSE from Malaysia. So enough about that. Now let's head on to the drafting phase of our game number one of the second series.
Very exciting. Once again, we are on the second series for today on the upper bracket here in the playoff stage of Kings of Underground Season 1. What you're seeing on this on your screens right now is Team X from the Philippines coming on the blue side, and Team BSC onto the right side, red team coming from
Mhm.
Malaysia. We see a lot of respect on the high sustain heroes like that of the June, as well as Kaiser coming from Team X. And they have secured their favorite pick in here already, right off the bat. They want to start like confident with a pay pick.
Well, I wouldn't disregard that, but again, if they're really much comfortable with this pick, and I think that they can capitalize on that. But coming from the side of Team BSE, we can see that Princess Frost can be is one of the priority bans, and of course, as expected, the crowd control capabilities that this hero can really much give when it comes to potential team fights is really much down to the point that you cannot really move anymore. And of course, the damage output can really much be can really much burst you down as well. But oh, we're going to see here a double smite setup once again coming from the side of Team Philippines. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, having this doubles might set up, it's now a question if you're not able to secure an objective during, clashes. Well, there's an objective, then that's the question in terms of your micro skills. But let's go back to what they have in here. We have a Dakia, one of the top ban and pick hero overall from group stages as well, but quite tricky to play with because unless you have the team, well, you have good team coordination, you
Mhm.
won't be able to pull off the dakyao. So it's very important to actually communicate as to when you're going to go with a portal, use that or whatnot. But so far for the early and the late game, we have that advantage on the side of Team X. They have the early for the late game, they have the pay for the early to mid game as well. But
Mhm.
so far, look at that. They have actually banned out a lot of clash lane options in here against Team BSC, with the Byron and Mayin also getting banned out.
Well, I think it's part of the strategy to really much not push on the engagement. If we remember during the elimination round, they were only able to focus their full force power when it comes to securing those inhibitor torrents and rotating efficiently. So I think that's one of the best strategies that Black Shoe Esports is specializing on. And considering that they were able to choose Lam here as their third pick, is one of those high potential damage heroes. So that's a force to be reckoned with Black Shoe Esports.
Stats trivia though, Dharma, they have left it open. It's actually one of the top ban and pick, with having the second highest win rate in our statistics right now, having 75% win rate. So that's gonna look
Mhm.
scary, especially if this Dharma is able to lock in the early onto the game. But we'll see about that because there's some good source of CC
Ooh.
as well coming from this side of Team X, with the Mozzie as well as Heino and Ata as well. And yeah, I think we have
Mhm.
closed it in with an Angela. What do you say about the Angela as the last pick of Team BSE?
Well, actually, Angela is the best pick for me when it comes to the mid lane for the side of Black Shoe Esports, because again, it's a continuous damage hero. So basically, once you've been targeted by Angela here, coming from the first, second, and ultimate combination, that can really much be taking down at least two or three members once you are targeted by Angela here. So that takes precision and skills as well when it comes to potential team
Yeah.
fights. So I think the strategy here coming from the side of Black Shoe is, of course, they disregarded coming from the crowd control heroes that they selected during the drafting phase, but rather focusing on the inner push of having to destroy those inner inhibitor turrets. So let's see if that strategy can really much boil down into execution. So we're now going into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. This will be Team X and versus Team BSE.
Yes, that is so true. And here we go. As usual, we can see all of those roamers helping out. But I like the what Lamb is actually doing right now with the invade right off the bat. Even we still have the jungle sprite protection. Doesn't matter from him. He wants to take away AGZ's blue buff, or rather our Azure Golem in the early stages of the game, but gotta be very careful. Impressive!
Oh,
Look at that!
will it get
Nice
first blood?
flash!
Yes! The first blood will be secured by Team BSE of burning down that flash coming from Impressive. So that was really impressive coming from the side of BSE.
Yeah, that is so true. Anyway, I mean, Impressive is a support in here, so it could have been worse if it was a carry hero that was taken down early stages of the game. As you can see, the kill as well, the first blood as well as the early jungle invades really paid off for BSE right now. But
Oh, that was a
that's
close
just a
call.
joke. Yeah, that's what you get when you have a Dakia, you know. You're almost to kill someone, but they're teleporting back to the base.
Maybe later part or after this tournament, I'll try Dakyo using inter-rank games to really much understand its potential. But right now,
Yeah.
that was a really good engagement coming from the side of Team X, trying to bring down poke damage for the enemy opponent right here. But as of the moment, it's going to be a chill zone for the first few minutes.
That's so true. But then again, we'll have to wait in here. Looks like there's another
Ooh.
2v2 situation up top.
no.
Hail fall down.
Yes.
Miggy.
Oh no, there will be a follow-up damage,
That
and there we
Chaz
go.
is praising
Angela
billions.
trying to secure that kill. That's what I'm trying to say a while ago, that Angela is the finisher for the side of Team BSE. Once that you've been hit by that first second skill ultimate combination, there's no doubt that you'll be eliminated coming from that team fight. But right, we are now seeing here coming from the side of Team BSE, they are really much taking their job into invading Team X's jungle here, and we are now seeing that the gold lead is really much increasing by the minute.
Yeah, that is so true. There is some at least I think what they could have been thankful for is that Toshino, the early in here, hasn't fallen down as of yet, because that's gonna be their light of hope later on onto the late game stage of the game. But they have to save Toshino in here. Really nice ultimate in there, but on the top side, someone has just fallen down.
Making it a 0-4 kills in favor for the side of Team BSE. But right now, two of the players coming from the side of BSE are now focusing here again into the top lane, and there's no follow-up damage coming from Team X right here. So they need to be careful when it comes to their map control, since once one or two inhibitor turrets can really much be crucial for Team X here to win the game or lose the game.
That's so true. I mean, in here, I mean, look at the gold lead that BSE has right now. Just less than 4-minute game time, and this is looking scary already. They took down the tower on the top, and they are about to take down the bottom lane tower as well. Toshino has no room to actually go online.
Oh no,
Look
that
at
will be
that!
an engagement coming from the side of Team BSE. Ultimate has been engaged by Angela, and right now they are trying to take down this inhibitor turret and was able to successfully do so. Right now, the next objective would be the
Sia.
Tyrant here, and Lamb with the smite will be securing that kill.
BSE is so
Oh,
serious.
no.
BSE is so serious right now. We definitely needed to have that highlight from that Dharma just flashing in and taking off the life of Toshino. And now they're really having problem with just resetting their manas. Blazing Brilliance did not connect.
Now
Okay,
backing
still
away.
he's alive. It's okay. But
Oh!
impressive. Oh, look at that. This is no good for Team X right now, because the lead is everywhere in favor of BSE as of the moment. They're getting the room onto the mid tower as well pretty soon, with Fuzi being here, Blazing Brilliance connecting. Unfortunately, Hano will not survive.
Oh no, this is what I'm talking about. Angela is the finisher, or is not the finisher that pushes away that members coming from the side of Team X. So I think this is one of those best picks that they have. But here, Rampage was secured by Angela. Right now, most of the team members coming from the Team X is trying to secure or to back away the members here coming from the side of Black Shoe Esports, but is not able to really much be successful in that strategy. And now two inhibitor going down in just less than 1 minute of that potential team fight. So map control wise, Team X is not having it this round.
They're definitely not having fun. This is a 0 versus 10 score right now. And did you see the strategy again by the Dakyao? I mean, she used her second skill as well as the Eye of the Whirlpool. And that is a good way to actually go back to the base, immediately again, they repeated it. Immediately regain your mana and go back to where you were at. And that is a good way to actually do some map control. It's like it is a global skill wherein it is just so annoying up against your opponent. But enough of that. I guess we have to find out how Team X can actually make comeback. What do you think Team X should do in here? Toshino is not having a good time at all.
This will be a possible team fight coming from the side of Team X. We're now seeing all of the ultimate has been packing in, and right now Team X was able to secure that double kill, but right now unstoppable coming from the side of Angela. Now that will be a 3-man down. Oh, potential 4-man down. Dragon M just barely escapes that skirmish. But right now, Team BSE is trying to push forward, taking down here the middle line, middle inhibitor turret of the high ground. So let's see if they will be able to be successful. Yes, they are successful in destroying that high ground turret. So right now, Team X is not in a good position. But answering your question, Kaysaya, one of the crucial things that Team X needs to consider here is to take down that Angela. As we are now seeing here, oh, with that TP out. What a possible combination from Team BSE.
Yeah. That is the beauty of the Eye of the Whirlpool coming from the Dakyao. Just going here and there, but the super minions are about to come out as two high ground turrets are already destroyed. Ooh. They're just going in.
Now we can see that this will be another team fight coming from the side of BSE. Angela just pushing away with the ultimate. This will be it for the side of BSE, and they will be winning game number 1.
Oh, that was not looking good for Team X from the Philippines. Congratulations, meanwhile, for a really clean game coming from BSE from Malaysia. They dominated Team X from the early game time up until the mid. They didn't even have to wait for the late game part of the game. What was crucial in there was, first of all, in the early stages, we did see how Lam, MS King, actually go for an invade. Impressive, they try to actually go for a defense, but unfortunately, the rest of the members of Team X wasn't there to actually back him up. They tried, but unfortunately, at the cost of his life. They didn't manage to get a kill, and just one kill up against MS King. Toshino wasn't able to go online. He only got one item in here, and that's definitely not gonna be enough. If you take a look at BSC kill score in here, you were loving the Angela so much. I'm gonna love the Dakyao so much as well, giving that space and global map control to go from the base and go back to the fight. And I think they utilize the Dakyao pretty well as well. And again, Siam on the Dharma, he knows really well how to play this Dharma, killing off Toshino even from the front to the back line by flashing in and going for the ult. So I guess this is a well-deserved win by BSE from Malaysia.
Definitely, and of course, speaking of a well-deserved win, now we're going down to the highlights. As we can see early on in the game that Team BSE was already taking the opportunity to really much get those invades coming from Team X's jungle, which is, I think, they were able to easily capitalize on despite the early game potential squishiness coming from their side of the team. But they didn't go afraid to really much get those invades. As you can see here, that they really are much pushing along with the Angela combination, with the first kill combination coming from the side of Angela, can really much take down that HP of the enemy heroes coming from the Team X. And what more it can also be doing with is that with the ultimate combination that it has with Angela, is it can really much burn down the HP of Team X's heroes, and as well killing that getting that securing a kill coming from their side of the team. And one thing that is good that Madam Kaysaya was able to point out as well is that Angela and the Dakyao combination with the ultimate can really much, bring that sustain when it comes to mana regeneration and of course HP regeneration coming from the side of BSE. So that's actually one of the unique things that I've ever saw from this tournament.
Oh, you can see that in the replay, the blazing brilliance connecting. Heino actually did fall down in here, trying to escape, but to no afford. But yeah, I mean, Siyang Dharma really paid off well. I mean, he did perform using this hero so well. But I think I need to point out as well, the double smite that we have in here for Team X did not pay off because they didn't have the room to actually go for the Overlord or the Tyrant objective. Likewise, Miggy had a hard time in actually going for the backline to actually reach maybe Angela or that one, because we did see a while ago in the early stages of the game he was trying to escape, but he got a smite. He doesn't have either the execute or the flash to actually juke in or out onto that early clashes. But that was a nice try. Just quite unfortunate that they weren't able to wait for the late game to find the Arlie to go online. And it paid off well though for BSE. It looks like BSE really does know how to out-rotate Team X in here. But let's see, on to game 2, because this is a best of 3 match anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Kaysaya. And there's actually many things for many room for improvement for the side of Team X right now. Seeing from the fresh perspective of the composition coming from BSE, and I can say that this is not the ace setup and our ace draft coming from the side of BSE. I can definitely see that they are still warming up for these two teams for our upper bracket playoffs. But if you're going to ask me, right now, we're now heading on to game number 2. There's more opportunity for Team X to really much capitalize on the crowd control heroes since Team BSA was able to ban them out early on into the game number 1. So we'll be able to see more engagement coming from the side of Team X once they do that.
They need to stop the opponents, or they need to stop BSE to actually going for that early invade onto the jungle. They need to maybe go for that mine bush game, maybe wait into the Azure Golem, but they showed a strategy already. Might not work in game 2. So a lot of mind games in here, but at the same time, they are so good in. It feels like for BSE, doesn't matter what hero you choose, what hero you draft for them, because the rotation that they're doing, regardless of the hero they use, is just so impressive. Okay, that is a player name, impressive on Team X. But we did see the Lamb. I mean, it's just even the Angela a while ago, rotating so well, not just onto the farm lane, but even in the clash lane, and that helped Dharma to actually also go online. They are so reactive and they are so decisive on what they want to do in the game. It's like there's no guessing, okay, are we going to go on to this part of the map? Are we going to go for the clash or whatnot? It feels like BSE as a well-formed team and a long-time team already, have been playing. They have some Chinese players in their team too. And they have been playing the game for quite a while. So it just shows how well they are in the game already. But I'm pretty sure Team X is already preparing on what they can do for game 2.
Definitely, and of course, just like we said a while ago, there are a lot of opportunities for Team X to really much scale up their game, because we were able to see coming from the side of BSE, it was a really, really flawless match, coming down from the rotations, invasions, coming from the enemy side of the jungle, and take into consideration that their inhibitor turns wasn't even scratched by Team X there from game number 1. So that proved a statement on how they really much be efficient when it comes to defending and of course engaging coming from Team X.
that hurts a lot. Like, okay, you didn't get any kill up against your opponent, not even a turret, tower, scratch even. I like the terminology that you use in there, scratch, you know. So, yeah, we'll see about that. Because maybe they're still reserving something. Yes, we did see Arlie is actually a favorite of Team Philippines or Team X in here, but they could be hiding something else as well.
Mhm.
Pay, however, is already gone too. So we'll see about that. We'll be ready onto the draft. Game number 2. Teams are ready. They're gonna swap sides. Again, this is BSE from Malaysia versus Team X from the Philippines.
Well, if you're going to ask me if Angela was the best player or the best hero from the side of Team BSE, why not choose it and capitalize let Team X capitalize on the Angela, and maybe we'll be able to see on how different when it comes to hero mastery as well that this teams two has. But seeing from it, I think I can still sense that the top bands will be still be prioritized by Team X here.
Because this top bands, I mean, if you give that to highly experienced players,
Mhm.
definitely it's going to be looking scary. I mean, they don't even want to give away the Dakiao as well. Let me just double confirm if actually it's not even Dakiao their top pick is. It's actually Princess Frost and Lam that is the top band of BSE. So they just
Mhm.
don't want for sure to give that opportunity for Team X to take advantage of the global map control that they could do. So Lam is an understandable ban in here. High sustain, very mobile as well. Same as the Kaiser, high sustain, good in the early as well as a either actually mostly as a jungler. He's
Mhm.
okay in the clash lane, but mostly you would want to utilize the Kaiser as a jungle. But the Dolia, which is actually a top ban pick almost everywhere, even in the China's tournament,
Mhm.
is here onto the hands of BSE and the Arlie. So they have the late game secure already. But the Shangguan that I'm seeing in Team X right now, I do believe that if they want this to work out, they need to give the Shangguan the early, assassination kills as much as they can so that he can be that potential killer onto the late game as well, just like as the Arlie.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Kaysaya. And right now, giving emphasis as well with the Dahlia here coming from the side of Black Shoe Esports is really much a game changer coming from their side of team. Despite them banning Lamb, of course, they were able to use that on the game number 1. So it's like a strategy on wherein we don't see this duo in terms of combination wise, in terms of the in-game composition right now. And coming from the strategy of Team PSE, is like they are choosing their heroes not only to show off into the land, into the official gameplay, but also choosing it based on where they are able to capitalize on. Now, going back here from the side of Team X, we can see a potential Marco Polo there, but I think that was just a
They're still
hover.
deciding.
Yes.
Yeah, they're thinking.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, I would
Well,
choose. Yeah, okay, go ahead, guys. Aya.
yeah, if they go for the Marco Polo, that is a good secure onto the late game. Not just a secure onto the late game, but it's really great against tanky heroes. But Huang Zong in here, okay, a really great range, but he definitely needs great protection, either coming from the Mayin as well as the Dune. But this cannot be someone who get chased by any assassin. Fortunately, the assassin that we only see in here who can flank up against the Huangzong. Well, there's the Arlie. A lane can also go for that backline to target the Huangzong. But anyway, they got a June. And I like this Zhangfei hover by Team X so far to give that protection necessary for the Huangzong. Because yes, really great range when he goes for the artillery mode.
Mhm.
But at the same time, he is not very mobile compared to the Arlie.
Oh, okay. Now impressive. Now changing the heroes right now, but I would just like to also give a highlight here coming from the side of BSE, the double smite setup. So basically, we were able to see the double smite coming from Team X a while ago from game number 1. So the scenario changed right now. So again, it's a tactical strategy when it comes to securing this double smite, when it comes to securing those objectives, may it be the Tyrant or the Overlord. But I think I think that will be an overkill coming from the side of BSE.
Yeah, that's so true. Meanwhile, I can maybe it is a change from Zamfei to Ming to help out give out the heals for Huang Zong whenever he's in the back line. So he's just going to be roaming around with the Huang Zong most of the time, probably because they would want the Dun as well as the Mayin to go onto the front line and soak in the damage that the members of BSE will put in. But then again, that is a situation that could happen if both of them are actually on equal amounts of gold and itemization. But for the meantime, we'll see how they will try to take advantage of each other in the early stages of the game. This is game 2 of the best of 3 match between BSE versus Team X, Malaysia versus Philippines. I'm Kaysai, with me is Mischievous. Let's get it on, Mischievous.
Yes, let's get it on. But I always want to give emphasis that when we enter the game, it's always happy. I'm always happy to see that the full map perspective to give us where the positions are already coming from both sides of the team. So good job to our technical director there. But now going back to the ball game, we have now seen here Dahlia trying to invade the jungle coming from the side of Team X with a little bit of a poking damage capability, but here Junior, we are able to see that he is really much farming well, and there we go, second skill has already been initiated by Dahlia here, but again, a poking damage potential coming from the side of Black Shoes Esports.
Yeah, I mean, BSE in here on the bot lane part of the map, they were able to get the Spiketail Beast as well as the Firehawk. That gives them the upper advantage in terms of the gold. Yes, no invade happened, but look at what happened onto the bot lane. Nice steal, or rather nice vision given by the side of BSE. But yeah, anyway, this is just early. I mean, not as aggressive as game 1 at least.
Yes, I think right now they're taking their time to really much scale up their heroes right now because again, just like you said a while ago, Dahlia is a late game hero that can really much help the whole team entirely when it comes to the clashes and of course securing the Overlord or the Tyrant and escaping that skirmishes with the ultimate as well. But here we can see that BSE trying to invade once more the side of Team X's jungle and providing visibility here is M's King. So right now, I think that's a good position that they have right now.
And here onto the top side, we can see Xiang actually on a lower advantage in the early stages of the game up against Sima Yin. But meantime, well, this is just a bait. He can go back to where he was, you know, just wasting the skills of the members of Team X. So that was quite unfortunate. And going back, bring out the artillery was already used by Wang Zong in here just to shove away the members of BSE. Still an okay strategy to do that.
Now we are seeing here a 3v1 situation, and there we go. Team X will be securing that first blood out of nowhere as we are now seeing a potential trade-off here in the bottom line. Okay, Dahlia having to sustain that damage, but again, not enough to take down some of the members coming from the side of Team X. So this making them a little bit of a, you know, having the lead for their side of the team. But right now, in the turns of the jungle, okay, that will be a disengagement for both sides.
That is so true. Despite the first blood kill of Team X, though, you can see the lead. At least there is a catch-up in terms of gold. I was about to say there is the lead of BSE in terms of gold as well, and that is because of the, you know, this jungle sprite, or rather the river sprite that we're seeing being taken. This is what Elaine is doing right now. And a while ago in the early stages of the game, we saw the Dahlia steal the Spiketail Beast into the camp of Team X.
Heavy artillery.
Bring out the artillery.
And there we go. That was already initiated by Team X here, but oh my god, that was so deep coming from the side of Team X. And now BSE will be able to secure the kill. Now with this high damage, MS King will be able to secure their kill again for their side of the team. Oh no, will this be another take? No, that will be too deadly from the side of Team BSE. Now targeting the inhibitor turn, and I think they will be able to take this down.
Yes, and that is the priority of BSE almost everywhere. As you can see, there was no chase coming from Kao Kao, but onto the top side, Elaine. Okay, did not connect.
That was almost.
It did connect, but not enough damage. Yeah. Fight again ongoing onto the camp of Team X.
Oh no, that will be a kill for the side of Team BSE. Right now, that was a good 3v5, 3v2 situation coming from the side of Team X. But then again, the sustain and damage output coming from BSE is way too great for Team X to handle. So that's making one of their heroes fall down towards that fight. But right now, going into the mid lane, 2v2 situation here, invading jungle, Zilong really much putting in and in here at the back end line and wanting to penetrate, but here TP out. Right now, Team X is still fighting for their lives, but then again, BSE was able to secure this kill. Heavy alternative will be engaged? No, not yet. But right now, ooh, another kill for the side of Team BSE. Will this be another one down for the count? Let's see, as the ultimate coming from Team X has already been initiated. One inverter turret middle from the middle side will be falling down. It's not looking good once again for Team X.
Yes, because in here, Arlie, as you can see, although team fights are happening, the focus of the farm lane is just the tower takes. Doesn't matter if he doesn't get enough kills on the early up to mid game stages of the game, for as long as they capitalize on the tower takes. And in here as well, oof, bring out the artillery. Unfortunately, that won't be enough damage as of yet. And while we are in pause, let's take a look at the replay onto the game. So yeah, onto the bottom lane part of the map, we did see this artillery damage coming from Wang Zong, but unfortunately, they will still be taken down by the Arlie onto that fight. The Shang one has fallen down indeed, and this is the part wherein there was actually a no chase for the Cao Cao to actually go for a kill up against the Ming, because they do know that the important part is actually to take down the tower. And yes, and now we look at the live match that is happening as of the moment. If you take a look at this one, there is now much control by BSE onto the chase. A potential fight might happen.
Coming from the side of BSE, now they will be able to secure that kill. Right now, back away, coming from the side of Team X. That was a potential 3-man down from the side of Team X, but they decided to pretty much have their heightened senses and of course backing away from that engagement from BSE. So a commendable act from them, and the discipline plays from there. But here we can see Team X already using his ultimate just to clear the minion waves coming from the middle side, and of course Zilong here just really much pushing in the members coming from Team X and was able to secure a kill, but then again was defeated by a shutdown from Team X. And of course Dahlia here just prioritizing the minions and of course securing those inhibitor turrets, was able to take down the middle or second inhibitor turret from the mid side. So that's again another win for the side of Team BSE.
Arlie said, okay, I wanted to go dive in. You take care of the towers. I'm just going to get the Hwang Zong, or rather a member of Team X. But unfortunately, with that deep dive coming from the Arlie without her teammates, she has fallen down. But doesn't matter because they are on the lead. They are pretty confident about just going in, being aggressive, because 3 towers have already been taken down. Actually, 4 by Team BSE. Bring out the artillery. Not much damage up against this annoying Heino. And he will just go back to where he was. That is the annoying Heino that, pretty much almost every team wants to take away and ban out. Call a thought because...
Yes, we're having it here on the mid side, taking down, potential takedown here from Dragon M. They're trying to chase her down, and there we go. BSE was able to secure that kill. Now going back into the bottom side of the map, we can see that this is now a double kill secured. Will this be a triple kill? No, but then again, it will still be favorable for the side of Team BSE. Dollar will take down that inhibitor turn from the bottom side. So again, despite the healing capabilities, there's still damage output here that we can see from the Dahlia. But there, with the tower dive, barely making it out, coming from the side of Team X. And now, the high ground turret coming from the bottom side, and potentially here the mid side will now be taken down.
Somehow Team X, BSE rather, is still too much for Team X to deal with. We are just on the mid game. Bring out the artillery. They're trying to focus on the base.
Here, one member down, will be taken down. 2 make it down. 2 members. 3
Minions
members.
are there.
Will this be a team wipe out for the side of BSE? And yes, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 2-0 sweep in favor for the side of Black Esports.
Wow. I wasn't expecting a 2-0, to be honest. I was like, at least hoping that there's going to be a 2-1, but it appears that BSE from Malaysia is still too strong for Team X Philippines. But to the fans of Team X, don't you worry, because they still have hope from the lower bracket of the game. But congratulations to MSG, And BSE for already moving forward to the next stage of the upper bracket. They're both coming from Malaysia, and Malaysia is known to be very active in the Honor of Kings game as well. But yeah, take a look at our match results in here. At least we got 4 kills in here, mostly going on to Miggy as a main, though. We didn't see a while ago during the draft. We were talking about how important it is for the Shangguan to go online, but we did not see that for Dragon. He's got only one item in here, and the item he has is actually to counter the healing coming from the Dolia, the Heino, and it's it's not mainly a source of damage, so they're pretty much lacking damage in here. And yeah, quite unfortunate for Team X that BSE in here really very much a focus on the towers, and that paid off so well because Arlie was doing the job and going for the push, and the space was being given by the Elaine and the Cow as well.
Well, taking into consideration on how disciplined that Black Shoe Esports is right now, coming from game number 1 and game number 2, there is actually no doubt that they were able to secure those heroes that can really much counteract the hero lineup coming from Team X right here. And yes, coming from Dragon as well, giving emphasis that coming from one of his core items that really much disengages coming from the anti-heals coming from that scepter. So making it really much not the damage output that we are expecting coming from the side of Team X, but looking into deeper here from the instant replays, we can definitely say that Team X was actually getting their momentum early on in the game, securing the first and second kills coming from those early initiations. But then again, just like what you said, it's not about the kills on how we'll be able to scale up their heroes, but actually the invasion coming from the side of Team BSE. Just like here, we can see that some of the members coming from the side of BSE is actually taking the red and blue buffs coming from the jungle of Team X, so making them richer in terms of gold lead. So that's one of the capabilities that we are seeing from the side of BSE.
Definitely kills don't matter in the game in here. Towers, invades, stealing off the farms, and of course taking advantage of the river sprites as well, the firehawks too. You got to take advantage of that, and I think it clearly has shown in here in this match between Team X versus BSE that is of true importance. And I really like how they actually given that space for the Arlie to actually take the towers. And for Arlie, because normally if you play ranked games, right, if you are a farm laner, okay, I'm just gonna go for kills because I'm the carry, I wanna get more kills and all that, so I have good KDA. But in here, JR Arlie was very patient. He was focusing on the tower takedowns while his teammates are busy going for the kills and just creating the space and position for him to go for the tower take. And then on the mid game, when there's enough towers that was taken down up against Team X and they got the lead, that's the moment joined for kills. And yeah, really good discipline in here. This is what we like in a well-coordinated team. It doesn't matter okay, who gets the kill and all that, because this is after all a team play. So really good job by BSE on that one. But then again, Team X, don't you worry, there's still a way for you guys to actually make a comeback from the lower bracket. And to those who are curious who the rest of the teams are actually under the lower bracket, we've got Kagendra, Nexus Esports, Impunity, and King of Hell. And Impunity, who actually one of the teams in here that is also being eyed on by the teams, because Impunity as well as versus BSE and Scarz, they have something to match up against with. There is some tussle or a comeback being wanted by BSE as well as Scarz in here up against Impunity. What do we know about that, Mischievous?
Well, right now, Team Impunity is, just like you said a while ago, that is one of the top teams that is really much wanting to be watched by the majority of our audiences. But again, adding on to a little bit of a spice coming from Team Impunity, it's not that usual that we see that Team Impunity down to the lower bracket. Commonly we see them on the upper bracket. So maybe this can be a lot of strategy for them to really much take down
Yeah,
those weaker
we
teams?
don't
Not
know.
all of them are weak, but then again, one of those opportunities for them to have a really much good matchup coming from the winners, coming from the upper bracket.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a strategy. We were talking off cam a while ago. Okay, impunity. That's not something that we frequently see. But yeah, we'll just have to find out. But meantime, tomorrow you'll see matches onto the lower bracket with the teams that we have mentioned. You'll see again rather Scarz as well as Team X onto the round two of the lower bracket tomorrow. Whoever will move forward onto the round two of the lower bracket. So tomorrow will be a 4 series game. Tonight, it's so fast, right? It's just like,
Mhm.
is it even like 10 p.m. already in Southeast Asia? Not even.
Not even, not even. We still have 10 minutes to spare before 10 p.m.
Yeah, and what's prolonging our broadcast now are just like the replays, not the actual match, because a lot of the games we saw finished at around 10 minute or not even 10 minute game time. So as you can see in here, not even 10 minutes, just like 8 minute game time, wherein they have taken down the mid lane tower. I mean the inner towers of the game. Gotta say again, the Dahlia with our high peak ban in here, getting that celestial melody, the reset of the skills onto whoever could be the Elaine, that's gonna be like an annoying series of ultimates from the Elaine as well. Like whoever too. Like it could not just be the ultimates of the heroes, whichever target hero he has with the most number of cooldown. But then again, this is a really good fight that we see, a good strategy, especially those who are new in Honor of Kings in Southeast Asia. These are the kind of the matches that you want to see and learn from.
Yes, definitely. And I was actually expecting, coming from the side of BSE, to really much use that double might setup, but we weren't able to really see that kind of setup from their game number 2. But then again, a win is still a win for their side of team. But congratulations once again for the side of Team Black Shoe Esports, and of course coming from Team MSG of our first series earlier. So just like Miss Kaisaya said a while ago, there is a jam-packed schedule that is waiting for us tomorrow, since we'll be really much watching the lower brackets, and of course Team Scarz and of course Team X will be still having an opportunity to really much battle their slot to the lower bracket finals as well. So that's something that we can also see in order for us to really much see the spice and improvement coming from the lower bracket teams. But then again, my name is Mischievous and I'm with Miss Kaisaya. If you want some more of this shoutcasting experience, you can also visit me on my official social media accounts. That's on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at MischievousCastPH. How about you, Miss Kaisaya? Where can they contact and see your content?
You can follow me on Facebook. It's Kaisaya Online. Quite unfortunate, I already lost my old page. So if you're wondering why I'm already Kaisaya Online on Facebook, yeah, that's why. I got hacked and all that. But yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter. It's Kaisaya PH there. And I'm also on other social media like YouTube. So just follow Kaisaya there. Meantime, of course, don't forget to follow and type !notify on Hawk Underground Facebook page as well, so that you are alerted whenever the stream is up. But for the meantime, we'll be signing out and see you guys tomorrow for the lower bracket. See you.
Fighters. Capable of taking on enemy heroes one-on-one. Fighters can survive lengthy battles and single out an enemy to divide and conquer. Assassins. Assassins are best for the job of cleaning up the battlefield, combining high mobility and heavy burst damage. They're deadly to low health enemies. Mages. Typically capable of dealing significant burst and area damage. Mages often have the role of crowd control in team fights, which allows their teammates to focus on dealing damage. Supports. These heroes' skills primarily protect the rest of the team, either as a source of various team buffs or by inflicting debuffs on enemies. During team fights, they can also serve as a shield by absorbing incoming damage for their teammates. Marksmen. These high damage, low defense heroes deliver powerful attacks at a distance from danger. In the mid and late game, their skills can deal explosive amounts of damage, making marksmen instrumental in winning a match. There are 3 routes, or lanes, through Hero's Gorge. Farm Lane. The farm lane at the bottom of the map has minions that grant more gold. Clash Lane. The Clash Lane at the top of the map has a teleportation port and minions that grant more EXP. Mid Lane. The mid lane is the shortest path between the 2 team bases. The minion waves are also smaller than the other 2 lanes. Other important Hero's Gorge features include River. The river connects the mid lane with the farm and clash lanes. It's home to the Overlord and Tyrant, monsters that grant powerful buffs when defeated. Towers. Each lane has 3 towers. Base towers are near the team base's crystal. Inner towers are in the middle, and outer towers are at the river. When enemies are in range, the tower fires on them. Towers target one enemy at a time, dealing high damage once per second.